right? Go to guard.io for a 7-day free trial, and you'll get that browser health check and even be able to add 5 members of your family.
Here's one thing you need to do before buying anything online. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you watch this first. Watch this. I can show you how to get the sweetest deals online when you shop from major retailers like Amazon and Target. You can drop prices automatically. I can show you how, but I can't do it for you. People are saving real money doing this. $160 million in the last year. Across thousands of different retailers, you'll immediately see this. See what I mean? You'll see better prices you had no idea existed. And you don't even have to ask. They just show up automatically. Download this free tool that'll give you access to the deals. Just click, click. Done. That's it. Simple. It takes all of 10 seconds, and there's no need to enter any personal information. There's no technical mumbo jumbo. It's that easy. What are you waiting for? It takes less than 30 seconds to start saving. And this is all 100% free.
All right, so I was going to do live, but I cannot get all my stuff to work. This microphone is not even on right now, so it's probably coming on my laptop, and I can't stop it. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. Okay. No thanks. Okay.
So a bit of breaking news that just happened, and before we get to it, I just want to back up and tell.
So I'm going to start this by saying, first of all, we know that people can be people. All right. I mean, people can be people. There's some people that are trash people. I'm just here to give a different perspective uh, because men in this country really don't get a fair perspective in a lot of different ways. And I'm coming from it from a standpoint of women can be savages. The same savages that people accuse men of being, women are also capable. I grew up around all women. My mom has 4 sisters. My dad was out partying, so I spent a lot of time with my mom and her aunts, and all the female cousins in my family are close to my age. All of the guys were a lot older. Um, so there's a lot of stuff that I heard growing up. There's a lot of different personalities that I encountered growing up, just as a man being surrounded by women. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like things that you would hear them say, things that you would hear them say about other women, things that you would hear them say about how they, pretty much get what they want from guys. I've heard it growing up, right? So we're going to skim through Candace's video. I think that she's wrong for for uh, trying to make a husband seem out to be a monster from a 3-minute clip. Um, anybody that's grown, anybody that has been in a relationship, uh, listen, there are conversations that I could clip between me and my wife, and I could put out there, and she would be demonized as a woman. She could do the exact same thing to me. Like sometimes you can have heated discussions, and without you being in the room, without you being in the situation, you could pick a side. You can pick a side, and you can make anybody the monster that you want to, depending on what gets leaked. But now, who leaked it? The person that's home all day that has access to all the camera footage. I'm sure that's not the only Ring camera that they have. I was on Destiny's channel. There were 5-second gaps. There were 40-second gaps. You know, uh, so go over to his channel, and he can explain it to you. Um, I've seen Destiny's reaction to it. I've seen Abbott and Preach's reaction to it. So I'm going to uh, go through Candace's channel, um, and I'm just going to give you guys a breakdown of what I see and what I hear. Because when you listen to it, and some of you guys may have not seen some of my shorts. I used to do social work for the men's homeless shelter. There's a lot of different things that I saw when I was working there. Um, and and sometimes women get to a point to where it's like they're willing to burn down the bridge. Everything that touches the bridge, everything goes up in flames, right? Everything goes up in flames. So
Tell you
let's go
why
to
we
her
are
video real
discussing
quick.
to allow you to.
You first. Hillary, how do you respect a man? Yes. How do you man? How do you man receive love and respect? To do rightful things, then I drew a boundary. I drew a boundary. No, you just did it.
And she is alleging that he has entirety.
Okay.
I drew a boundary.
Okay. Here we
I drew
go.
a boundary. No, you just did it. I drew a boundary of abusive and cruel. You are not taking the car. Because if you refuse to do rightful things, then I will go pick up the groceries. There's no groceries.
So before we get into it, he already started out saying that he would go pick up the groceries. So the fact that people are saying, now this goes to preach is like the fact that he's saying I go get the groceries, fine. She's adamant about leaving the house. She's adamant about leaving the house. Okay, so it's not that he was saying you have to take an Uber. He said I will go get the groceries. Okay, uh, they have one car. I mean, they got millions. That's weird. I don't have millions. I got like four. I mean, that's weird. Like we have a family vehicle. Hold on, do we have four? We got family vehicle, Chrysler, Dodge. Yeah, so we got like five. Okay, um, so that's weird. You know, but let's keep it going.
I have steaks, wood pellets, my grill. I know it's an unreasonable request, but I'll go do it. How about you first? Hillary, how do you respect a man? Yes. How do you man? How do you man receive love and respect? No. How do you man? No, you're not taking the car.
Stephen,
You're not taking the car.
Stephen,
You are not.
then I
taking
will ask them to pick me up. Would you like me to ask?
Oh, that's right.
It's not about Stephen.
Get an Uber.
Okay, Stephen.
Now, now, there's a lot of different ways to interpret this, right? But I believe that there was infidelity on her behalf, mainly because he came out first and said that there was no infidelity, right? But listen though, during this time, he filed for divorce from his wife. Well, he didn't file, but he hired a divorce lawyer, right? He didn't show up for the birth of his twins, right? Now, in here he says, how do you respect the other man you see? I could be wrong. This video can be taken at face value, and if everything is 100% correct, he's a douchebag. I mean, he's a douchebag anyway. But women like douchebags. That's why they always end up with them. Like, so I always disregard the douchebag part because by and large, women are attracted to douchebags. Like, right? So we're gonna keep that off of the table. But what good reason would a man not be there for the birth of his children? Right? Now, we saw pictures in the hospital with him holding them. Um, so it wouldn't be too far of a stretch to be like he caught her up in some stuff. She's pregnant right now. He don't even know if the kids are his. He's still trying to work it out. But the kids were born, and he like, I'm not showing up. He hires a lawyer, and then when the kids are born, DNA test, they're his. Okay, I can forgive you. They're my kids. I don't want to break up the family. You guys don't know how many times I've seen this story at the men's homeless shelter when I was doing social work. I don't think that the world knows how hard men work to keep their family together. in this society when we don't have the power to actually do so. I don't think people know what men are willing to swallow as a man. Okay, you did this. These are still my kids. I want the best for them. Men are selfless for the most part. Yeah, you're gonna have some selfish douchebags, but even the selfish douchebags are selfless towards their families. They will give anything for their families. This isn't even about the car. This whole situation is scratch the car. Like this is not about the car. It's not about the car at all.
Even
But
I
let's
can't.
keep going.
Feeling some constraints?
Steven.
Like I can't
Steven.
go. Listen to me. Listen to me. You want to walk out right now? Listen to me. I can't go to the gym. I can't go to my parents. I can't call my friends. I can't go. I can't be home. You're gonna take the car and leave me here. Hillary, just think of how boxed in you've made me.
What do you need me to pick up? I'll get it. I'll be back when I'm back.
No, that doesn't work either. You'll be back when you're back. That doesn't work either.
Steven.
Yeah,
I
now, hold
understand the
on.
difference between my life being set to the second and you going, I'll be back when I'm back.
Steven.
Now, listen, listen. If you ever been in a situation to where you don't trust somebody or the trust has been broken, I will be back when I'm back is never going to be good enough. You can listen. I just caught you texting homeboy over there. You can't tell me you're gonna be back when you get back. What? Like you're my pregnant wife, and you're gonna be back when you get back. So not only are you adamant about leaving the house, not only do you say, "Do you want me to call somebody to pick you up?" And the reason why he said that that's a threat. What? Why would it be a threat if my wife called somebody to come pick her up? Like my mom, or my dad, or her dad, or our host of cousins, or friends that we know. Like, why would it be a threat? It wouldn't be a threat unless there's another guy that I've already caught you talking to, and you're trying to leverage that on the table. Well, I would call this person to come pick me up. He wouldn't mind, right? Like we have to look at this a little bit more deeper because men have physical strength, and we lean on that when we are in situations. We lean on that uh natural men tendencies. Women, however, lean on their emotional manipulation and how they can twist guys up. We've seen it all the time. Like, how many men have died because of women? Just in general, men have become violent because of women. People see women cry and everybody comes running. People see women get mad and then everybody's like, "Oh, he must have did something." Like people are overprotective of women in general. So yes, in that, in what I'm hearing and from the evidence, despite him being a douchebag or not, like these are red flags. Like these are it's like this. Men trust women as far as their loyalty goes. When you show a man something offset, he pulls back on how much he trusts you, right? There's women that are influencers, that have boyfriends, that have husbands, that have extreme loyalty to their husbands, which allowed them to be able to do that career because they have 100% lockdown loyalty and character. I've seen it. I have women that are influencers. They don't play no punches. They will out you if you try to talk to them because they know that they have men that's in their life. They don't hold no secrets back. They show their men everything, and that allows for the freedom to be half naked on the internet. I mean, I don't like it because I just don't, think that that's for me. But the amount of freedom and that you want from a guy usually goes hand in hand with how loyal is your character. This is not about going to the grocery store. He just told her, my life is set to the second, and you tell me you'll be back when you get back. Now, if any man has ever been in any type of relationship to where, women have to know where you are at all times. I've been in those type of relationships to where women have to know where I'm at all times. It's like yo, I haven't showed you anything, that would want you to believe that I'm this way. But okay, fine. I'll share the information, whatever. Boom. I really don't care. But for him to have that type of relationship with her, and then for her to say, "I'll be back when I be back," I think both of them have control issues. And we've heard this story plenty of times too. A woman will pinpoint a guy's schedule because that let her know when she can be out. She based her moves off of what his moves are. Oh, he's gonna be at the office today. We got time here, here, and here. Oh, he's gonna be at the gym, so we got time here, here, and here. That's the way to not get caught. Women have been doing this forever.
The only way out of this is discipline and respect. It's the only way out of it, or we're at an impasse.
We are at an impasse.
Good. Because you can't have any discipline and respect.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. You throw your hand, you give up.
I just wanted to show you the US.
Okay, so all in all, listen. These are things from my perspective. I can always be wrong. Nobody's perfect. Um, if this wasn't a popular thing and if this wasn't leaked, um, I would have actually uh, loved for people to carry things and to take care of these things off of the internet. But it's a 3 minute clip, man. Um, and there's a lot of unreasonable people in this world to where they take this 3 minute clip and it's their life. And Candace Owens being a married woman, you should know that she's covered stories. She's covered stories that she's had to retract. Ray J, for instance, right? She has covered stories to where I've heard her make points that don't make any sense, But when you're dealing with a married couple in the confines of whatever happens in that relationship, you have to tread lightly because now it could be she has a lot more information than what we have. But if she did, I mean, she's a popular figure. She should put that information out there. But she's just in the same video that we're using, which makes me believe that she does it. I'm not taking up for the guy. All I'm saying is, in his statement, he said that he chose wrong. And for a man to say that he's pretty much putting all the blame on himself, even though Candace tried to spin it the other way. When the man said that he chose wrong, it's basically him taking accountability for the situation going the way that it did. Right? Now, to me personally, there is no right person. You choose people that have the characters that you want, and you guys try to merge as one. That's what you do. There is no right person. You grow together based off of the characters that you initially like. Like you pick that person, and then you guys try to become one. But usually, what happens is people feel like they lose themselves or they don't want to lose themselves. So when you have one person trying to merge together, one person doesn't want to lose themselves. One person doesn't want to lose themselves. One person want to keep the same friends. They want to keep the same habits. They want to keep the same, hobbies. They want to keep the same interests. It's not possible. There has to be there has to be compromise from both because you have two people that's trying to do this. Then if you do this, what happens? Then kids come. You can't have the same hobbies and interests with kids. You just can't, right? Um, but that's life. Like you have 20 to 15% of what's you. That's it. When you get together, the other 80% that you guys that has to be negotiable. Like if I like playing the piano, if I like drums or whatever, okay, don't get that up. I got two pair of drums right there. I got my piano upstairs because I'm about to go to church like right after I drop this video. Right? That's me. I like to draw sometimes. That's me. This part isn't going nowhere, but everything else because we have 4 kids. I can't hang out in the club. Although I never did that anyway. But even if I did, I can't hang out in the club. I, I can't go to what is it? Stripper joints, uh, strip clubs. Yeah, I can't do those things. I have a wife. I got kids. I want to make sure that they're safe at night. So if I don't have to be out the house, I don't really want to be out the house. I may go to my brother's house. I may go kick it with the boys, but by and large, I'm at home because I got work to do. I got a business to run. I got 4 kids. Some things have to take a back burner to your spouse and to your family. Like that's just life. Anybody that says otherwise is lying. Okay. But now we're going to get to the other stuff.
USCCA's
Hold
free
on, hold on.
concealed
Matter of
carry
fact, because
reciprocity
there's
and
part of the
gun
video
laws
that I
map.
didn't
As a
even.
defense attorney,
So easy.
I don't give up, Stephen.
Hillary,
Stephen,
Can we
you
skip
give them
this?
so easily.
I
I just said the only way out of
We're
this
gonna
is
skip
discipline and respect. They said, then we're at an impasse.
Stephen, no, we are at an impasse, okay? I love you, but Stephen, your abuse is sick. Your abuse
Watch it.
is sick.
Watch it. Watch it.
I'm gonna let go. I'll get what you need me to get. And I
Okay. People have been outraged over this. Watch it. Man, listen. We live in this world where everything has to be absolute perfect no matter what you do. Everything has every scenario has to be perfect. Man, listen. If somebody is crossing a verbal boundary, I've heard men of all races say this. No matter how they say it, some people say watch it. Some people say watch that shit. Some people say you're skating on thin ice. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not a bad part. And he said that without even moving off of the couch. I can see if he said, "You better watch it," and he got up in her face and was like, yo, okay, watch how you talking to me." You know what I'm saying? Like those are trigger warnings. Like those are just warnings. Like, hey, you're crossing the line here, right? You're crossing the line with how you're talking to me as your husband, as your spouse, right? People on YouTube and on the internet get blew up over so much stuff, knowing that they have the same conversations offline. It's just not visible to everybody, so we can't analyze it. Like, how many YouTubers have we seen get exposed for saying something that they said that they never would say? Like, it's y'all may see some stuff on me. I don't know. Years down the line, you're like, you remember when you said this? Oh yeah, I did say that. I don't know, but you can't pretend like we have to treat women with so much grace and so much kind and the rose petals as they walk across the living room floor. No, man, women are human just like men. They step out of their character just like me. They're douchebags just like me. Just because she's pregnant doesn't give her any pass to be any more disrespectful just because she's pregnant. And I learned this from the women in my family because I didn't even know that being a jerk of a woman was a thing just because you were on your period until I grew up. I've never experienced any woman in my family being mean, rude, or nasty through their menstrual cycle or through pregnancy. When they didn't want to be bothered, they would just go in their room. They would stay away from everybody. Like, I'm like, hey, what's wrong with so and so? Oh, it's that time of the month, right? I've never experienced anybody being mean to me on their time of the month or when they're pregnant. Just because they're pregnant, like they don't get disrespectful. They don't say things that they normally wouldn't say, except for if they were like a naturally disrespectful person, right? Just because she's 8 months pregnant doesn't absolve that fact. Like, yes, she may lash out, but even within lashing out, if you respect somebody, you're gonna watch how you do it for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Uh, like it is what it is. You know what I'm
I
saying?
need some space. We need to just stop engaging each
So
other.
let's go.
Okay? I love you. I love you very much.
I don't love you. That's the big problem. I've never received love from you. And the fact is, when I go, look, I need you to do A, B, C, and D, just be disciplined about it, you go, no. But I love you more than life itself. Okay. Put on some gloves. No. But I love you more than life itself.
All right. There's a lot that you could impact from this, right? Mhm. If you want a divorce, like if you want a marriage to end, sometimes when you say stuff like that, there is no turning back. You can't say I don't love you, and that's the fact. And think those words won't be heavy on the back of somebody's mind. You can't do that. Um, but now, why did he say that? He said that he's never felt love from her. He's never probably felt respect from her. And when you get married, and when you can make any type of money that's over average. And when you need your wife to step in and do something, because it can help you out, for her not to do those things, it's almost like a slap in the face. I've been in relationships to where we will have a plan, we will agree on the plan, and the plan gets broken. That's frustrating. That's frustrating for a man, just like women have a problem with, hey, listen, you as a man told me that you would do this, this, and this, right? But you're not doing it. You're not leading. That's frustrating. I can admit that on both sides. When people don't do what they're expected to do or what they need to do, it wears the other person down. It don't matter what it is. It's like now he's he's famous. He travels. So if he calls his wife like, "Hey babe, I'm about to be there in about 45 minutes. I need you to do this, this, and this," and then she doesn't do it. Excuse me. And then by the time he gets home, like, "Yo, so I just got here. You been here all day. Like you couldn't do this. Like you couldn't do this. Is it that hard?" Um, I I think that's some of the nuance that some people are leaving out. Is this is not about the car. This is not about the groceries. I think it's a possibility that he caught her talking to someone, which is the reason why he didn't show up to his uh, baby's birth. The reason why he hired a divorce lawyer, and then when he found out that the kids were his, he pulled back because he would rather keep his family together than rip everybody apart. Now, let's take it one step further. To all my cheaters out there, do you, uh, do you know what I realized? I realized that when people get caught cheating, they don't want to deal with the consequences to rebuild the trust of the person that they hurt. They still want to maintain that same frame of what led to the cheating in the first place, right? So if I'm out working and I'm supposed to be out working, and then my wife finds out that I'm not out working, right? Because see, right now she doesn't question me. Why? Because I don't go around cheating. Like that's why. But let's say that she found me cheating, and if I want to keep my marriage together, guess what? I have to now play by a certain set of rules because guess what? I broke her trust. So baby, I'm gonna be out. That's not gonna work anymore. You broke her trust. That's not gonna work anymore. Oh baby, I'll be back. That's not gonna work anymore. Yeah, she's gonna have questions now. She's gonna be wondering, hey, yo, what's up now? Right? She's gonna be wondering those things. So me as the person that has done the wrong, I have to be more flexible with the things that I don't want to do, but like because now I understand like, okay, I did something messed up. So I have to, for the lack of a better words or whatever, I have to kiss my wife's behind to get back in her good graces, right? Like, I have to do these things. I mean, I don't lock my phone anyway, but if I lock my phone, I can unlock my phone. If she wants to see my social media messages, let her see my social. And because when you break somebody's trust, it's like kind of like yo, if you want that situation to keep moving forward, you gotta be totally transparent. So an answer like "I'll be back when I'm back," that's never gonna be good enough. That is never gonna be good enough. I don't care what nobody say. That will never be good enough. Now, once again, I could be totally wrong because this is somebody's marriage. We don't know. Um, is he a douchebag? Probably, yeah. Did she love him when he was a douchebag? Yeah, she fell in love with the douchebag part of him. I'm pretty sure because that's what women do because they find that attractive. They find that masculine. Uh, so that's why I don't really care to hear women complain about uh, certain things that they go through with certain men because like he's been that way. Just like I also don't like to hear men complain about women that they chose that have obvious red flags. She got 2 or 3 kids by 2 or 3 different guys. She's a stripper. You know, she has been engaged 5 times and tried to keep the ring from every good guy that she talked to. When you see certain red flags in people or certain characteristics, you just kind of got to believe them and then avoid the trauma of even dealing with them in the first place. So I really don't like to hear people complain. I don't care what they're complaining about. It's like now some people really do get duped. Some people really do get switched up on. Those are totally different things. But from what I can see, for the most part, it's like these people have the characteristics of somebody that you don't want to have in a partner, but because of how they look or because of how much money they have, you accept it anyway. So if you accept it, accept the consequence from it too. Right? But now, till then, I gotta get ready. I gotta leave. I got 4 kids, well, 5 kids because my niece is over to get ready for church. Um, I'm not gonna preach to nobody. I go to church. I'm trying to get my life right. I'm not a pastor. I'm not a minister. If I say something that shouldn't be said, God's still working on me, and y'all gonna have to chalk it up to me not trying to be of head of any congregation, not trying to preach anybody's word. Because to me, when you accept those roles, there's a different level of uh, of operating that you have to do. But I'm going to talk about that stuff later. But till then, if you have a comment, because people were trying to get at me, because I did the first video before this video got leaked. People told me I was going to hell, and all. I'm like, yo, listen, I'm a man. I have a family. We know what the statistics are with children growing up without their fathers. Listen, I can sympathize with any man that doesn't want his family to break up. I'm on my second marriage. You guys don't know the trauma that children go through, and men are more likely to bite that trauma, and women are more likely to say, "I don't care, I can't deal with this," and not knowing that the kids are going to go through their own sets of troubles. Listen, man, like I can sympathize with any person that wants to keep their family together. I can. I can. Because I think that it's noble. I think that that's what the world needs. Men to be leaders sometimes have to bite off more than they are willing to help keep their families together, to help keep their family moving forward. Some people think it should be easier than what it is, but as a man himself that has 4 kids and holding everything down for the family and going through life, it's not easy. Me and my wife had to work at becoming together. It's not easy. These things aren't easy. Marriage is great, but at the beginning, like it's like you go through the honeymoon phase, which is the attraction, and y'all probably having sex like 3 or 4 times a day, And but then once that phase, and that's when the real work starts. That's when the real work starts. And both people really need to sit down and see, like, we need to be on the same page. We need to grow together. This is what we need. We need this. I'm gonna have to give up something, you're gonna have to give up something. Right? Like this is what has to happen because we need to become like one. And like we always see these old couples, people that's been married like 50 years and they can almost operate without even talking to each other. Why is that? Because they learned each other, they took the time, they've been together, they learned what this person needs. It's like almost like watching football film. It's like when you see something or you hear something, and then you already know what that person's thinking or what they're going to do next, and you don't have to ask a question. Just like last week, my wife's nail popped off on the porch, so she got the nail, and then she was running around the bedroom, and she was trying to find the nail glue, and so I started walking downstairs. I started walking downstairs because she put it in the kitchen drawer. Like every couple has like a junk drawer in the kitchen where you just throw random stuff in. So I had just saw it like 2 days ago. So I walk down there and then she's walking behind me. She opens up the drawer. I reach in the drawer and I pull out her nail glue, right? Oh, how did you know? Well, because you were already talking about it and I knew that based off of how you were acting, that's the next thing that you were going to try to go find, right? That only happens when you really study people and when you really get to like try to know somebody and you love people, you can kind of start operating off of how you feel based off of how that person feels. And it's a weird thing if you've never been in that space before. It's a weird thing to because some people don't even know that their spouse knows them better than what they do. If you don't believe that that's possible, then you've never had somebody really pay attention to you. If you never experienced that, you've never had somebody that know you better than you know yourself, that you're in a relationship with. You've never had nobody really learn you or pay attention to you. And as men, I would almost place a wager that most men know their wives better than their wives know their men. Only because of this. The work that it takes for a man to get to certain places. We have to know your favorite color. We have to know your favorite flower. We have to know what sets you off because we have to remain calm and cool and collected. We have to manage your emotions, not so much as you guys managing ours. Uh, hey man, I was supposed to leave, but uh, there's a lot of more work that it takes for men to get to a certain level with women, which means that we have to know you. And then as time goes on, we're going to know you even more, right? When it gets to that point, like most women don't even know that men know what your characteristics are. We could almost know based off of what you say right after you get home, which friend that you hung out with today. Because guess what? We know your friends too. And we probably don't even like some of your friends because of what they represent. We know your good friends. We know your whole friends. And I can almost guarantee you, don't no husband want his wife hanging out with her whole friends. I mean, that's a given. Which is one of those things to where when you're trying to become one, hey, listen, if I got some whole guy friends that's not married, I may see them once in a while, but we're not gonna be like this. Because if this person doesn't believe in being faithful, I don't want to be around them. The same thing go for her. It's about give and take. And yes, it's gonna be some heated moments. It's gonna be some heated moments. But you can't judge no marriage off of no 3 minute clip. especially when there's no physical contact going on. Th- there's not even cuss words. They didn't even cuss at each other, right? They didn't even cuss at each other. Think about that. They had a heated debate and nobody cussed at anybody. Man, they both have some issues, but yeah, I'm not gonna just write them off as being a super abusive, toxic husband. They had an argument. They had a private argument, and now she's leaking what she had access to because he's filming and he's traveling. She's there with the ring camera. I'm sure there's going to be more 3-minute clips. I'm sure of it. She's probably been planning this for a long time. She's there with all the footage. And anybody in any marriage, in any situation can do this. So I'm